and welcome to Spiritual Happy Hour. I'm Marilyn Harper.
And I am Joy Roby, and Adironda and the Council of Light will be joining us soon.
This is your weekly dose of love just to get you through the week. Because why limit happy to an hour, right? The beautiful music that you just heard was channeled specifically for Spiritual Happy Hour and played by the master, Randy Luna. Spiritual Happy Hour is our weekly reminder of love, living our vision every day. Get that? Living our vision every day. I love. Roughly based on the teachings of A Course in Miracles, which we often refer to as ACIM. And of course, the teachings of Adironda and the Council of Light, who will want to remind you that Spiritual Happy Hour, I feel them coming in now. It's so
I think
wild.
you need some vitamin B.
I do. Spiritual Happy Hour is actually your weekly dose of vitamin B, BE. We do interchange the word God for love, because God is love and doesn't really care what you call him or her or them. It all boils down to 11 little words. The universe has your back and everything is going to be okay. Shall we get into it? Yes.
So, Marilyn, you know, I have an amazing life. Sometimes I have to even pinch myself. And if you don't believe me, ask my friends. It wasn't always this way, though, because in fact, there was a time that I really didn't want to be on the planet. I was full of anxiety and very unhappy. And then I met Marilyn Harper and Adironda, and they gave me hope. They helped me to see just how many wonderful things I already had in my life to be grateful for. And they taught me that there was no such thing as failure, because at that point I felt like a failure. There was only good feedback. Now, Marilyn and I and Adironda, we've worked together for well over a decade, and we've created an amazing life, all of us together, an amazing life of plurk. You know, play plus work equals plurk, right? All from scratch and from belief. So now I recruit miracle workers. That's my line of work. I am a miracle worker recruiter. It's funny because my son once called me an outlier. He says, I tend to defy the odds. I managed to buy a house when there was no way I should have been able to. I didn't have the money and I didn't have the credit score. Yet I landed this magical place in the mountains of Colorado. It was a miracle. You see, miracle workers are outliers. If you look at sets of data comparatively, much of the data will line up in some form of consensus. An outlier is typically behaving unlike everything or anyone else. It's that little dot that's not fitting within the form of that data. Encouraging people to not, emphasis on not, to not accept the norm. Instead, create a miracle. Yet miracles happen every second. I guarantee you that they're happening all around you right now, but you just may not be seeing them. You cannot create miracles for others. However, you can model for others what an outlier looks like and watch miracles happen for them. It encourages people to not accept the norm. Instead, create a miracle. And you're here listening, and that's what I'm doing today. I am recruiting miracle workers, and that's you. All you need is a BS degree from the School of Hard Knocks. That's a belief system education. The rewards are phenomenal, and just because you showed up here today, you already qualify. From here, you just lean into your yes of everything is possible. The fact that you are connected to everything and everyone is not just mind-blowing, it's something you can actually be using to create miracles. It's called quantum physics. And since all of us are connected, like dots of ink that make up a photograph, knowing this is a pretty darn helpful tool. In a moment, I'm going to give you a test. Don't worry, it's an open book take-home test to prove to you that quantum physics isn't just an amazing philosophy. You see, your energy, your thoughts literally create matter. You create the density of form that you call physical things. And just by thinking about things, you are already connected to everything and therefore everyone. I realized this when I was looking back over the past couple of years of my life, and I realized I'm a miracle worker, and I was creating miracles in my own life without even knowing it. Here's what happened. I got to travel to Egypt, all over that country. I got to go to Chiang Mai and give alms to the local monks. I got to go to the Elephant Nature Park in Chiang Rai, and I even got to take my mom with me. I got to go to the White Temple in Chiang Rai in Thailand. And I got to climb Machu Picchu and Huayna Picchu and go to the floating islands of Peru. I went to the River Jordan and sailed on a boat. I put my feet in the Sea of Galilee and in the River Jordan, and I got to touch the star where they say Jesus was born in Bethlehem. I also got to climb Mount Sinai over the Red Sea in Egypt and sit on the rock that Moses sat on. And I went to Stonehenge in England and actually got to touch the rocks, which doesn't get to happen very often. I went to Paris and Mount Blanc, France, and I even got to walk through Petra in Jordan, which is just spectacular. Every other summer, I take a whole group of people to swim with the wild dolphins in Bimini. And I also got to go to the magical place of Teotihuacan, where I got to stand in the shadow of the condor. I got to go to Fairbanks, which was one of the top things on my bucket list, and see the aurora borealis. And all of that happened because some crazy infinite possibilities appeared in my life, and I said yes to Marilyn Harper. It was a yes that didn't make any financial sense at all. Shoot, I couldn't even explain what I was doing to my friends and family. This work, this was not even on the list of careers, but it allowed me to tap into one of my greatest loves, and that was to travel. And I did it without enough money in my checking account, let alone my savings account. And I didn't have to pay for any one of those trips. I did it without putting a single penny on a credit card. I visited nearly every continent on the planet except for Australia, and that's only because COVID prevented that. And I did it helping other people get their own dreams. You see, there are two requirements to becoming a miracle worker. Number one, you must believe the universe has your back. And number two, you must believe everything is going to be okay. In Buddhism, this is the end of suffering. It's about not being attached to the outcome and just being in complete flow with life. And if you can't get yourself to this point, I get it. Just fake it until you make it. Tell yourself you believe it. What the heck? What do you have to lose? Once you decide that you are willing to believe, then there are three things to keep in mind. It'd probably be really good to get a piece of paper and pencil because I'm going to give you some things you may want to write down. Number one, this is easy, really easy. Number two, it doesn't matter. Remember, everything's going to be okay. And number three, you are already doing this. As Roald Dahl, author of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, said, those who don't believe in magic or miracles will never find them. The truth is, we don't need more beliefs. We need more practice. We only theorize about this stuff. We're not in the habit of practicing it. Without practice, this is just feel-good stuff. Remember, you are connected to everyone and everything. Quantum physics proves this, and if you don't believe me, just Google it. If you start practicing, eventually you, miracle worker, will model the norm. You will be the outlier. Okay, so you have paper and pencil ready? You're going to want to write these down. These are tests proving that this is true, proving to yourself, to your conscious mind, that this is true. First of all, there's only one way that you can fail, and that's in not doing them at all. Just participating guarantees your success. So all you need to know about these tests is, number one, they're easy. Have fun. Miracles happen in the spirit of love or fun. Number two, these tests don't really matter. Approach them with a lighthearted view, completely detached. It's when we're so attached to the outcome that we block the results. And finally, number three, look around your life. Everything you've created already is a miracle. The good and the bad, they're all miracles. It's only you who are judging whether they are good or bad. The miracle itself is neutral. It's your ego saying, I like this, I don't like this. This one was successful, this one wasn't. The best way to do this is with a friend. Challenge someone or a partner so you can have even more proof that it really works. So the first test we're going to take is the aptitude test. Now, aptitude measures your skill or ability. I want you to see proof that you already have the aptitude. John Lennon said, when I went to school, they asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up. He said, happy. They said, you don't understand the assignment. He said, you don't understand life. The truth is, we're bundles of habit, and mostly negative habits. As it says in A Course in Miracles, the world is only in the mind of its maker. You literally draw out from the universe whatever you focus on. So why would you want to think about anything other than what you want? This test will help shift any negative habits. Repeat after me. When I have the perfect soulmate, I will be happy. When I am richer than God, I will be happy. Now, if you were writing these statements out, I'd say cross out that first clause in each sentence. And what are you left with? 4 little words. I will be happy. The first clause is not nearly as important as the second one. I will be happy. Choosing to be happy and saying thank you for every little thing was one of the most radical decisions I made in my life. And if you choose this, I promise you, your life will never be the same again. A Course in Miracles says each day should be devoted to miracles. So here are 3 more little tests to do over the next 72-hour period. Write these down. Number 1. Create a playlist, a song list, to start your day off happy. And get songs that are only songs that make you feel upbeat and smile. Get happiness literally stuck in your head from the moment you wake up. Number 2, ask for a personal cosmic joke. Spirit has a great sense of humor. I once asked for proof, which for me is to have a heart show up. And within hours, I realized the underwear that I chosen to wear that day was covered in hearts. I only realized it later on when I went to use the restroom. And number 3, gratitude. This is probably the most important of all. This was life-changing for me. And I devoted a full year of my morning meditation to feeling gratitude. I met the new love of my life. My business quadrupled. I bought a really cool home here in Branson that I could completely remodel, which is another one of my passions. Okay, our second test area is for skills. Skills tests measure your current abilities to do the job. It can help identify gaps where you might want to put more focus. So for this test, we're going to see how good we are at manifesting. I'll bet you are better at it than you think you are. And even if you aren't, I want you to get into the habit of saying, I'm an amazing manifester. I am an amazing manifester. Just ask anyone who knows me. Why? Because I walk around saying I'm an amazing manifester. It really works. I even have a picture hanging in my house that says, we always get what we want, just as a reminder. Remember, the belief about believing before you see it, Well, this is where this skill really comes in. So another thing you can do is what I call the jelly bean jump start or the M&M jump start. You just have any type of candy that comes in 2 colors. Buy them in 2 colors. Determine that one color, like the red, for example, is for belief. And then determine that the other color, the blue, for example, is for remaining the same. You know, kind of like the Matrix, right? Believing that you are not in control and the world just happens to you and you are living by default. Have those candies sitting out and occasionally choose the color for believing you are in control and everything is possible. This reminds your subconscious brain that you're making these decisions, and it begins to dictate to your belief system that you are in charge and you are choosing. So one more test. This is the cognitive test. Cognitive ability will test your mental capacity to be a miracle worker. This is about judgment. Labeling things good, bad, right, wrong. When we judge something, we automatically eliminate 50% of the possibilities. Once we figure everything out, we stop looking for anything else. Remember the outlier? She's looking for the something else. Our constant judgment immediately throws up a wall and stops things from happening. Let's face it, Martin Luther King Jr. never said, "I have a complaint." We all have stories, ingrained beliefs, but a belief is only a thought that we continue to think over and over. So choose one of the stories that you tell yourself. For example, I'm broke, or I always pick the wrong partner, or I'm a terrible sleeper, or I'm tired. Any story. And flip it for the next 72 hours. I'm abundant. I sleep amazingly. I've got an awesome partner. And look for proof of why the exact opposite of your current belief can be true. As it says in A Course in Miracles, abandon your belief in deprivation. You can have it all. In fact, the universe only wants you to be happy. So since this is about proof, this is about action. Keep a high alert over the next 72 hours. Why 72 hours? Because with spirit, everything happens in threes, and that's 3 days. So for whatever test you decide to take, allow 72 hours for the universe to respond and the answer to show up. I think you will be amazingly surprised. Do all the tests, and then post your experience on the comments either here below the video or send me an email. Joy, that's JOEAUX, at Solopreneur, and that is SOULOPRENEUR.com, or just simply share it with a friend. You see, when you start to lean into what it is that you want and it begins to happen, having fun with it and sharing the results will create even more of what you want. Remember, I traveled the world for 3 years, my greatest dream, and I did it without a penny of my own money. The universe became my playground, and I just kept focusing on how I could help other people get their dreams. I am a miracle worker. I changed my negative habits for the most part. I'm not perfect. I fall into them too. And I created a pretty awesome life. I know the universe has my back, and I know everything is always going to be okay. So wake up every day expecting things, expecting great things. Make this your new normal. Be the outlier and watch all of the miracles that begin to appear in your own life. Well, you know, I'd love to hear what Adironda has to say, Adironda and the Council, about miracle workers.
Why don't we do that right after a little 5-minute intermission or so?
Sounds great.
Ah, so it is good day to you, huh? Very good to see your light, your brightness, your divine presence, the energy that is within you, your radiant beams that are coming out for you, from you, within you, and all around you, dearest beings. If you have not encountered us before, we are at Ronda. And we bring with us an entire council of beings of light that are here on your behalf. So, you are a miracle worker, yes? You are recruited by the head miracle worker and you raised your hand and said, "Ooh, pick me, ah?" That is correct, dearests. You are recruited to be a recruiter yourself. For you see, everything is possible. You see, in that frequency of choosing the energy, in that frequency of making the divine choice to elicit love, God, source, whatever you choose to call that energy that is within every cell of your body and all around in every cell of your field and in every cell of every other person's field, that frequency always says yes. Yes to you. You wish to travel and have all your expenses paid? Yes. Now, what happens when you say, "Oh, I wish to travel and have all my expenses paid," and it doesn't happen? Huh? Well, understand that in that energy, in that divine frequency, there's somewhere inside of you that either you're not ready, it is not the right time, or you do not believe that it is possible. And yet it is still possible. So understand that divine order is in process no matter what. It is divine order within the world. It is divine order within the universe as you are coming through. Do you believe that? Do you understand that your belief system, or as the Joy calls it, your BS, huh? We know that as another term, but the BS, your belief systems, come into play in most everything there is. So what miracles are there in your life that you can remember what that feels like to have that miracle come across and realize that that is the feeling that you wish to have every single day? We remember the very first time we communicated through our vessel Marilyn. It felt like a miracle to her, and it felt like a miracle to us. Because we had been trying to get her attention for a year or more, to tap her on the shoulder, to tap her on her energy field. Because you see, she is a divine messenger, and we encountered her miraculously in the 17th dimension, and we knew that she could hold our frequency. For we were tapped by Source, Love, to be on this planet to help you know what that feels like, to be held in pure, clear, infinite love. Breathe into that. For you see, dearest beings of light, that is all there is. And each time you think, think of Martin Luther King. What would it be if he said, "I had a complaint"? We love that story, don't you? No, he said, "I have a dream. I have a dream." Dearest beings of light, what is your dream? What is your vision? What would you like to see in your planet, in your neighborhood, in your family, in your home, in your body. Everything is possible. There are those that believe that it was a miracle that the vessel Marilyn is even here. It is a miracle that you are here. Breathe into that. For you see, the combination of all of the idiosyncrasies and all of the energy and all of the mechanics and all of the creation that went into the manufacture of one tiny little seed coming in contact with one tiny little swimmer, and that makes you. If that is not a miracle, we do not know what is. For you see, that happens every day all over the planet. So you are already a miracle worker. You are already a recruiter of miracles. So, dearest beings of light, it is time for you to live the miracle that you are. It is time for you to live your own joy. We have said it before, joy is your birthright. The joy, no pun intended there, said, I will be happy. You know, she wrote a statement that she crossed that part out and then put, I will be happy. We ask for you to write that. And one day, take a deep breath. One day, instead of you writing, I will be happy, we see that you are going to be writing, I am happy. I am happy. I am happy. I am here on this planet, which is a miracle within itself. I am looking around and I see the rocks and the trees and the people that are miracles within themselves. I see peace coming in to the peoples and the leaders of this planet, which is miracles unto themselves. And I know that everything is possible. I know that I can do all that is my destiny to do. Take a deep breath and breathe that in. Repeat after us. Put your hand on something sacred. I know that I am here as a unique messenger of miracles. And I am recruiting other miracle workers just as myself, because I am love embodied in this human form. That is your message, dear ones. We would say, write that one down and repeat it every day. I am love, embodied in this human form. And know that, because we love you. We see you. We are you. And we bid you namaste. Namaste.